Hello, and welcome back to my channel. So, we got something that I've never done today. Truck's back in the garage. We're gonna be doing something that didn't come factory on this truck, but it came factory on some other trucks. We're gonna be doing cab lights. I am quite nervous to do these. Basically what we're going to be doing today is making sure the roof is no longer watertight. They're going to go, obviously as most of you know, they're going to go right up here and they're going to go into my daytime running lights down here and my mirror lights as well. But when installing cab lights, we're going to have to drill into the roof and then we are going to have to wire them in since this truck did not come with factory cab lights. So here are the lights. They are Recon light. They are the black ones, so that's gonna be cool. The part number for these Recon lights I'll throw up on the screen up here somewhere. They are specifically designed to be wired into trucks that did not come with factory cab lights. So it comes with the harness, not really a harness, but it comes with your ground, your power, and your switch wire to switch into your daytime running light wires, which you can do in the fuse box or you can do it up at the actual light or however you want to do it. So the measuring is going to be the most important part. I will kind of show how I'm going to measure. I'm still trying to figure it out on my own. So hang along with this journey. I'm going to grab some tools. We're going to have to pull the headliner and then we're going to have to drill into the roof. So yikes, that's gonna be fun. All right, stay tuned. Let's get some tools and start dropping this headliner. Okay, so I have the cab lights mounted up on the top of the truck right now. Not drilled in or anything, they're just set up. So here's the dilemma, right? Factory cab lights. Let me show you, it's easier to show you. So there's the cab lights on the top of the truck, right? So factory, so these two lights right here, these guys, they are 5 inches from the center light. And then the outer lights are 13 inches from those two lights. And that just means that these guys are going to be scrunched up together and then those two are on the side. How I want to do it, I would like them evenly spaced, kind of like you just saw. So that means I can't go off of any factory diagram or really any factory like template. So I'm making my own. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep going in thoroughly and making sure that all of those line up and they look good so that I will be able to not hate myself. I want to strive for perfection in this, and kind of hard because math's not my strong suit, but we're gonna figure it out. So I'm gonna get up there, I'm gonna get a tape measure going, get some masking tape, and get it all set up. Make sure it's perfect. Okay, so I got the lights on top marked out. I got those marked out. Here's what I did next. Once I got them marked out where I wanted them, I got the truck ripped apart, A-pillars down on both sides, and then I pulled the center light piece out, the sunroof molding. If you don't have a sunroof, you don't really need to do that part. Both the visors are down, the center light is down, and then the headliner is free, so I have access to the top. So now that this is free and open, what I can do is I can put the lights up there. So I have the covers off the lights and then the actual lights themselves here, so you can get to the screw holes on both sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the lights up on the roof, and then with the lights on the roof, make sure they're centered right where I want them, and then drill my 2 connecting holes, and then I will drill my center hole for the actual wire to fit in. And people say just use regular caulking or use regular RTV or sealant. I'm going to use roof caulking for like actual houses because it's waterproof, it has a fast set, and it's super strong.
and I'm gonna silicone the holes where I drilled, a little bit of silicone underneath the actual cab light, so that way no water can get in there. And then I will feed the wire through, screw the cab lights down, and then run the harness into the cab. So I will show you when it's done. 1. I'm gonna tell you right now, that has to be the scariest thing I've ever done in my life. Seriously, look at how big this hole is in this roof. Look at how big that hole is in there. Just for these 2 little wires, but the connector is massive. I'll tell you, I'm okay pulling an engine apart, but drilling into my roof has to be one of the scariest things I've done so far. Now it's all up to making sure the waterproofing works. So we're gonna repeat that process on that one roof 4 more times. Let's get it. Okay. So cab lights are up, all the holes are drilled. It's sitting up there. Take a step back. It looks pretty good, it's pretty flush. The spacing's pretty even. I will say, if you are going to go for evenly spaced, make sure you have the center completely. You have the center obviously completely centered. And then the other lights, I went 10.5 inches off of each. I went 10.5 inches center to center. So that center to that center is 10.5 inches. That center to that center is 10.5 inches, and same on this side. They're not screwed in yet, so they're not completely perfect, but that one's a little close right now. So I'll push it just a little bit, measure again, and then I'll screw them in, and then we'll wire them up, and we'll seal it all together. Okay, cab lights are up, mounted, and sealed. So that's just only half the battle though. So there you go, spaced out evenly. I say they look pretty good. So since they're up, they're mounted and they're sealed up with RTV, we're gonna seal them from the bottom as well, just to make sure that there's nothing that's gonna come through. So now it's time for the wiring harness, and it's pretty plug and play other than 2 wires. You're gonna have to ground a wire, which you can do in the headliner, and then this green wire, runs to your switch wire on your daytime running lights. I'm gonna see if I can find that wire in the fuse box so I don't have to run it into the firewall. See if I can do it in the kick panel. But do some research on that, look that up, but they look good so far. Let me get this wiring up and I'll show you what I mean getting it up in the headliner. Alright, so we did it. They're all wired up, they're all sealed up. Everything's kind of halfway put back together. I will tell you right now, the wiring, super simple. You ground it up into the cab somewhere, just bare metal. The green wire that comes from the Recon kit that goes down, I ran it down my A-pillar across my dash, and I ran it down into the kick panel on the passenger side down here, because that is where your connector is for your daytime running lights. I will put a picture on the screen up here, and I will show you what the connector looks like. You tap into the brown wire and just butt connector splice into the brown wire with the green wire. That's the one that gets 12 volts when your parking lights come on. So then your cab lights will turn on when your parking lights do and not when your blinkers do. But yeah, everything's pretty much put back together. I have to finish bolting up in here. If you don't have a sunroof, you have it a lot easier than us. The center dome is, you just pull on it down and it'll come out. But I gotta reinstall the A-pillar. But yeah, the kick panel is where you're gonna wire in your power wire to. So, let's put it back together. Alright, here's the final look. I'll get a video here when it gets a little dark of it, the parking lights on with those on, but everything lights up as it should. All the mirrors, the daytime running lights, and then the cab lights together. I know it wasn't a super invasive video. It wasn't like a step-by-step tutorial. There's 1,000 of them online, so I figured you guys could just watch the project start to finish, see what it looks like before and then after. Alright everybody, it is nighttime, and there's the finished look. I think it looks pretty good. Alright, I would say that's a pretty good install. Let's give it one more look from the front. That's what I was saying. You hook it up to the daytime running light wire, and then you have these bad boys on, your mirrors, and also your cab lights. So that looks pretty good. Alright guys, since it is nighttime, I'm going to end the video off here. I appreciate every one of you sticking around to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed the finished product of the truck. I think it looks phenomenal. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I will also have these lights linked down in the description box below as well. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. See ya.